very hot today, so make sure you take it easy on the stairs and stay hydrated.
Oh my god. Is that... Did I do that?
Do you think anyone will notice?
Yeah, I think everyone will notice.
Okay, so there's a lot of frustration about why they don't just borrow makeup to cover it up. In the comic, they didn't think of it until Tao suggests it after everyone's already seen the Hickey. Alice was asked about what scene from the comic she wanted on the show that didn't work on her Tumblr, Chronic Introvert, and she stated they couldn't find a way to include the scene of the girls covering up the Hickey with makeup. Doing it would have made them lose all the Hickey drama, so we just have to assume nobody thought of it.
But no one will notice you.
I don't think Nick loves the idea of everyone thinking Charlie was with some other guy either. Plus all the teasing, of course.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. I don't even know how to do that, to be honest.
It's fine.
Well, you definitely know how to do that since you left a mark that lasted all through the night and the following couple of days.
I really enjoyed it. A lot.
What are you two doing in there?
How did you get that bruise on your neck?
Oh my god. You!
Oh my god.
You! I cannot believe it! The actual... We will be having words.
So in the comic, Tao still doesn't know about Nick and Charlie, and he's totally oblivious that the bruise was a Hickey. Who did you think it was gonna be? There's not that many people that could have been behind that door. What?
Hi. We're going for breakfast.
I'll be there in a minute.
Help me! Please!
Sorry, help me.
What could they do to help you in this? Also, Elle was still behind the door, so she could definitely hear you freaking out. Very smooth. Cool.
I blame Nick entirely.
That's fair.
It's so funny how he goes from horrified to kind of smug about it after Charlie says he really enjoyed it. I think part of him also kind of likes that he's got this mark on Charlie, because he hasn't been able to flaunt that they're together at all. And a part of him does want people to see it. He's been so careless about getting caught too. It's like he might find it easier if people just found out rather than him having to tell everyone himself.
It wasn't just his fault, I was also involved.
Oh, no need for the gory details.
Oi, Charlie Spring! Who gave you that Hickey?
There's no way he could see it from that side of the table.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Not hungry?
Not really.
Okay, well, I'll pack you a croissant. So if you get hungry later, we'll have a snack.
You're the best.
Is it true James McEwen gave you that Hickey?
He's the only other gay guy on the trip, so...
I've seen some people react to this like, why would people care? But of course they care, it's gossip, they're kids. The idea that someone is having sex on the school trip, because that's what they're going to think, let's be honest. And even further, that meaning that some boy among them is secretly hooking up with the out gay kid is definitely interesting to these kids.
Leave him alone. It's none of your business.
It wasn't me.
Was this not you acquiring the info on who exactly it was, though?
I mean, obviously you know it wasn't me.
That's insane. That looks like it's actually... What, son? I made the cut, guys.
Wait, just wait.
Now, we've all been having fun in Paris.
Wait, who are these people? They were sitting behind Mr. Ajayi on the bus. It's just funny that they have these two teachers who never seem to say anything or be really visible in any way on the trip. They're probably Higgs teachers, since in this version both Mr. Ajayi and Mr. Farouk teach at Tuam. I actually made a mistake in season 2 episode 1 saying Mr. Farouk taught at Higgs in the comic. It was Mr. Ajayi, and I did state that for season 1 episode 1. So sorry, I don't know how I made that mistake and didn't spot it.
Now, we've all been having fun in Paris, but we thought this morning would be a good time to remind you why we're really here. And that's to practice your French skills.
Apparently in the French dub they're there to learn about history instead.
Now, we'll be putting you in pairs.
Starting with Charlie Spring and James McEwen. Hush. Nick Nelson and Ben Hope.
Sir, I don't want to go with Nick Nelson.
I don't give a rat's sauce, rude boy. Grow up.
There's a scene just before the gang go up the Eiffel Tower where we kind of get into our pairs, and Mr. Farouk, I call him Uncle Neems, I was about to call him Uncle Neems, Nima, who plays Mr. Farouk. He's so dear to my heart, I love him. But he had this he had this line to Ben, it was like, I don't give a rat's ass, rude boy. And it was just like really fun. It was that kind of day where we were filming that before we went up the Eiffel. Well, we had filmed that after we went up the Eiffel Tower. Movie magic.
Next we have Tara and Darcy.
Also, it was like real exciting being in front of like the Eiffel Tower and all of these amazing like monuments.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. That's the word. Monuments.
No way.
It's pretty horrible.
You've got knots.
You're
Quote from composer Adiescar Chase about the Heartstopper score.
You can feel the heartbeats punching, and you can feel the butterflies that rise and fall in your tummy when you see someone you like, and this momentum of moving forward, this momentum of growth.
I think the music is very reflective of how the characters feel in the situations. It's not one of those shows where you could be watching something that isn't really giving anything away, and that's a good thing. It's not giving anything away, but then the music might suggest something different. I don't think that this is that kind of show. This is a very honest, truthful depiction of their lives and the situations they're going through. I really like to tap into the emotions. I'm a very empathetic person, so I can kind of almost experience what they're going through as I see it. But that's, again, what's so joyous about this show, is that I'm just creating music for what I see and what I feel, and I'm hoping that that will help the audience empathize and sympathize with the characters in that same way.
I don't take French, but I know that's wrong.
Alright, I don't take French either. C'est la vie.
So much fun. Me and Ria did a lot of improv. So like that whole C'est la vie thing was improv. It wasn't scripted, and just really fun. Ria is so fun to play off with, because when we're about to shoot, she really gets into Imogen, and sometimes like just in between takes you forget, like I'm like, oh, you're being Imogen right now, I forget, like, because she's so good. And like Imogen is such a fun character to play off of, because Sahara is very blunt and kind of takes no nonsense, and Imogen is so like nonsense, you know what I mean, like c'est la vie, she just doesn't care. And yeah, so I mean she does care, but you know what I mean, she's just so fun. Ria's great, and she really gets into the character, which kind of spurs you on and motivates you to get into those kind of funny moments. So yeah, definitely a lot of fun to play off of.
I know you think it's funny to point things out about people and get a laugh out of your mates, but do you ever stop and think how you're actually making people feel? Like, come on, Harry, where's your basic human empathy?
Funnily enough, it seems like Harry actually listened to Isaac there, because right after this he sticks up for Nick and Charlie on the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, come on, leave it out, book
So stupid everybody thinks it was me. Like, just because we're both gay means we must fancy each other.
I sort of had a crush on him last year.
No offence.
None taken.
Do you think Isaac thinks it was me?
He knows it wasn't you.
Okay. It wasn't him, was it?
No.
I want to talk about what happened at the Paris trip meeting.
About Tao's proposal? Yeah, I kind of feel like we should have known it would have been a disaster after that.
You know, that's not what I meant. Remember when we were walking into Truro?
No, not really.
Quote from Kizzy Edgell.
I really need Darcy to grow up a little bit. I feel weirdly paternal towards my character. So I do truly want Darcy's life to improve and for her to learn to think before she speaks. I feel like her mouth can get her into quite a lot of trouble. She's lucky that it hasn't done that yet, but I'm nervous that it could. So, I feel that could be fun. I'd really like to see how her relationship with Tara progresses too, and the integration into the group. That's my favorite thing about this season, because in the first season, we didn't know each other. Now we all know each other, and we're a proper gang. It feels really good, so I want us all to hang out in the show.
You know what? Never mind.
Tara really has too much patience for this. Not being ready to say I love you is one thing, but avoiding the whole subject in such an obvious way? Nah. Quote from composer Adiescar Chase about Tara and Darcy's theme.
I love their theme. When I did season 1, I wanted to put vocals in, but I didn't want the vocals to really have any specific tie to gender. It's not really about gender. People are people. People feel things. They all identify in different ways. As a female identifying person, I have a female voice. And if I sing, then I will sound like a woman. So when I recorded it, I tried to make it sound more neutral so it could be for anyone. But for Tara and Darcy's theme, I felt like I really got to put my voice in it. It's their voice, really. Their relationship is one of comfort. They're really there for each other. It's this support network that they have for each other. They're still learning about how they feel and what they can trust with their friends and with each other. So their theme is yearning to understand about your partner and then learning to understand what's going on and being there for them and that comforting feeling.
Are you happy? What? First Charlie, now Imogen. You were the one who told her about me and Charlie, aren't you?
This you, in the previous episode not noticing your girlfriend, noticing you're absolutely obsessed? He's so paranoid about everyone scheming behind his back, honestly. In Solitaire he also blames Charlie for telling Tori when he didn't. He's just always terrified people will out him. Interesting that he threatened to do that to Charlie and Nick last season. And for what?
It's your mission to, like, mess up my life. Do you want me to go around telling people about you and Nick?
Like, what would have been a motivation for that other than you wanting to mess up their lives? Isn't it funny how in Ben's world, everyone is just a reflection of himself? Like, he thinks everyone is motivated by the same things as he is.
You never cared about either of them. You used Imogen for popularity points, and you didn't actually like Charlie. You just liked having control over him.
I do still maintain he did like Charlie in his way, but that's not enough if you don't treat him right.
What if I said I want Charlie back?
I would say saying all this doesn't help your chances.
Well, it's not like anyone else is going to want to go out with you, is it? You actually thought I liked you. You were just there like some tragic loser with barely any friends who ate lunch alone every day and let bullies walk all over you. I never liked you. I see you're still as desperate as ever.
Go find someone with a degradation kink. Still, I think there's more than one reason that worries Nick a bit.
I get it, I was a dick back then, but I was dealing with my own shit.
You sure did some speedy therapy if you're over that in a couple of months.
Charlie didn't even give me a chance to figure myself out, and then you came along and you stole him from me.
If you're figuring stuff out, fine. Take your time. I've already been there for you.
Charlie really liked me before you got in his head.
Now that is a true statement, I'll give you that. Charlie liked you before he saw what it would be like to be treated nicely by someone who actually cares.
At least I was nice enough not to give him a hickey where everyone could see.
And that comment would really get under Nick's skin. Ben really got a hit in with that one.
Okay, is everyone finished? Now, it's very hot today, so make sure you take it easy on the stairs and stay hydrated.
I've noticed that many people reacting to the show don't pay attention to this vital bit of information that the episode is named for, because they're still processing the interaction between Nick and Ben. It doesn't help that Charlie is wearing a woolly jumper and this was filmed in October, so it doesn't really look like it's that hot. But if you remember it's a hot day, Charlie fainting later has more context, even if you haven't figured out what's going on yet.
You didn't get tickets for the lift?
No.
To be fair, those tickets are a bit weirdly expensive for just being elevator tickets. Even the stairs cost money. Quote from Yasmin Finney.
It was the coldest day I ever experienced in my life when we shot that scene in Paris. That was the main thing for everyone, the freezing cold. As soon as they said cut, it was coats on.
Oh, the Eiffel Tower, because I'm scared of heights.
Oh my god, yes, that was a lot for you.
If you see Imogen crying...
Did we have behind the scenes of that?
I don't know.
I don't think we wanted to film you because it was obviously, actually, you was petrified.
Yeah, no, I'm like very scared of heights.
Petrified, like literally crying on the Eiffel Tower, which was a moment. It's kind of iconic.
But hey, I still did it.
You did it, and now when you go back,
I will be able to see that on Netflix forever.
What was your favourite moment in filming season 2?
I can think of all my least favourite moments, only because the Eiffel Tower moment was the scariest thing in my life.
Oh, that was not
scared of heights, and I remember my legs were literally shaking, like shaking. But definitely, the Eiffel Tower probably is like a bucket list moment for me. But climbing them stairs is scary because you think like the wind's blowing, you think you could fall off at any moment. I mean, you can't because it's safe.
I think you're gonna just blow off the Eiffel Tower, right?
Because they've got these little gaps in the grates and stuff, and you think, oh my god, I'm gonna die, oh my god, I'm gonna die. I think, bless her, like, I was really scared, but Rhea was more scared than me. Rhea, who plays Imogen. So I think that made me less scared. So I was like
she is in the show. She is scared in the show too, so that was no joke.
Yeah. I think she said I'm going to use it as a character moment because, which is very on brand for Imogen, let's be honest. But that made me less scared. And then seeing Rhea more scared than me, bless her, made me less scared because I was like, okay, I'm not that scared, but so that's fun. So we were actually only there for a week, which isn't like a lot of filming time, really. We should have been there probably a bit longer. But a week of Paris is so much fun. We went to Disneyland the second day we arrived. And by the way, that was my second time ever abroad. And the only time I had been abroad was like 2 months earlier at my big age of like 20, I think I was. Yeah, 20. So it was crazy to me going to another country because, again, that's like not something that I thought would happen, like go and get paid to go do a job in Paris. That's so cool, mind-blowing. We had a lot of fun. We went to Disneyland and we got to go to like all these really cool places like the Eiffel Tower. That is something that I'll never get my head around. I mean, it was scary, let me tell you this. I'm not a fan of heights, and we were climbing, we were filming there at like 6 a.m. we were there. And that was just scary. It was still like dark outside and you'd look and the sun would be coming up and then you realise how high you are up because it was dark and you didn't really notice. We filmed on the Eiffel Tower for like two mornings. I think we filmed from 6 till 10 or 11 across a Tuesday and a Wednesday or something like that. We got there at 6 a.m. because that was before it was open to the public. I think it became open to the public at like 10 o'clock.
Quote from Kizzy Edgell.
My favorite bit in Volume 4 is New Year's. I think it's so cute. I also really like Darcy's outfit. That was what caught my eye. It's a very Darcy outfit. She's wearing a plaid shirt with a patterned shirt over the top and a bum bag and shorts, I think. I remember talking to the costume department about it. I said, I've just seen in Volume 4 this really cool outfit. Can we recreate it? Which we basically did for this season. It was great.
No, we will not have this, thank you.
Isaac is reading The Outsider, also known as The Stranger, by Albert Camus. Another French classic, this time about a so-called ordinary man who is fine with helping his buddy beat up his girlfriend and kill some Arab dude, unwittingly drawn into a senseless murder. This is considered an existentialist classic, but rant time. I hate this book with a passion. It's vile and so pretentious. Here's my review if you wanna know how I really feel. Legit the meanest review I've left on any book. Quote from Netflix, whoever that means.
The cast and crew had 2 mornings filming at the Eiffel Tower and had to get there at 6 a.m. to go up before any members of the public were allowed access. There is a 3-tier system of elevators that needs to be navigated to get to the viewing platforms, and we had to squeeze the cast inside the lifts alongside crates of pastries and fruit that were also heading up to the cafes.
Quote from DOP Simona Shushna.
It was incredible being on the Eiffel Tower. It was a crazy experience as a film crew to be there. There was very strict protocol about how you load your camera kit and how much kit and crew we can take. But we got to watch the sunrise on the Eiffel Tower, which nobody else really has access to.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
We had to do a lot of shooting in a small space of time, so it was very intense and very fast paced, but like just utterly crazy to be on the top of the Eiffel Tower that's been shut down so that you can go and film your little TV show there, like
in a dressing gown. I was like, I don't know.
There's a picture of me and Brandy in dressing gowns and on the top of the Eiffel Tower, but yeah, it was like wild.
Yeah.
It was a testament to the kind of scope of our audience and the power that our show has created, that we could do these amazing things.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be on the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Okay, this is the most beautiful sight.
Quote from Joe Locke.
We'd be watching the sunrise from the Eiffel Tower before it opened and freezing our tits off because it was October and we were in shorts pretending it was June. It was the most whirlwind, incredible experience to get to do that. And to get to shoot the show with the people I love the most in the world, in the most beautiful city in the world, you have to pinch yourself.
You need to get a selfie from my mum.
Okay. Smiles.
We didn't really see them post like that on the show, but okay. Also, maybe don't show the hickey in the photo for mum. Just a thought.
Hey Nick, is that hickey from you then? What if it was? You jealous? I'm not gay.
Yeah, Nick's definitely proud of his handiwork. Mouthwork? Ew.
Leave him alone, lads. Come on. Come on. You got your own problem.
Did Harry just stick up for us?
I think he did.
Weird.
I need your love. I need your love. You make it right. I feel so high. I come alive. Let's go, ladies! Let's go, I'm ready.
We're ready, guys.
Let's go.
Maybe we shouldn't be hanging out right now. More people might think it was you who, you know.
You do know it was me, right?
Yeah, I think I remember you being there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
Bonjour, je ne suis pas joignable pour le moment.
So he just tried to call once and immediately turned off his phone. Class act.
That's cute. You could get one if you want. They're selling them back there.
I think when we're all together, there is definitely some bits where it's improvised. So, for example,
yeah.
when we're on the Eiffel Tower, there's a lot of improvisation. Like, oh, look over there! Like, we have to make stuff
Group
up.
scenes a lot, you know, when we're in the background and.
Yeah, or when it's like a close-up of Nick and Charlie, like we'll be in the background, like, hey, you know, like we'll be like, oh my god, like, let me take a picture of you. Oh my god, do you remember when we was on the bridge?
Yeah.
And we had to do that full choreo, like that full on, like, and then he was like, let's just do a group picture, and like it was like we was all in the background, but it was still. We had to think of something.
Fun, isn't it? You get to like live, you know, live in your character.
Yeah.
Without the pressure of like lines.
Oh, it's me!
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's you! Wow.
You really don't think things are going to work out?
Even if she does like me back, and even if something did happen, still mess it up like I always do with everything.
You don't mess things up. Name one thing you've messed up.
The cinema date? Your life multiple times?
How?
I'm basically the reason you got outed last year.
Tao telling Charlie about this is a big change from the source material. In the comic, Tao doesn't know he's the reason the outing happened, and Elle tells Charlie he shouldn't tell Tao because he might accidentally say something again. The comic version of this exchange drives a rift between Tao and Charlie for a bit, but in the show that already happened when Tao found out about Charlie and Nick dating. Because we don't need another Tao-Charlie conflict in the show, this is turned into a friendship-affirming moment for them instead. Now Tao knew it was his fault and has felt guilty about it for a long time, but Charlie doesn't blame him and helps him feel better. In the comic, Charlie caused Tao to start thinking he was a bad friend with this discussion, so the show version is definitely nicer at least.
After you came out to us, I was talking about you with Isaac. Someone overheard, and next thing we know, you're getting bullied every single day. I never wanted to tell you because I don't want you to hate me.
But you know that wasn't your fault, don't you?
Interesting how to Charlie that wasn't Tao's fault when it clearly was, as Tao's carelessness was the reason it was found out, but Tao obviously didn't mean to do it intentionally. Yet, seemingly everything that goes wrong registers to Charlie as being his own fault.
Like, that was clearly an accident. Tao, we've been friends since the first day of year 7.
Hey, I'm Tao. Charlie. Cool.
Baby Charlie is played by Sam Firth and Baby Tao is played by Eden Gall. There was a funny thing in the fandom when young Charlie got added on the Heartstopper IMDb page with no picture, and all the update accounts just collectively posted a picture of some kid saying he was playing young Charlie. This prompted Alice to comment about everyone posting some random child saying he's playing young Charlie Spring on her Tumblr, Chronic Introvert.
You were the only person I met that day that I really wanted to be friends with.
Are you guilt-tripping me into being nice about myself?
Even if things don't work out with you and Elle, even if you make mistakes sometimes, you're a good person who deserves love.
Wait, isn't that for you and Nick?
My next favourite scene is another one from season 2. I love the scene with Charlie and Tao on the famous Locke bridge in Paris, where Tao's upset about Elle, and he tells Charlie that he's the reason that Charlie was outed at school. And it's just a really lovely moment of pure love for each other that they have, and it was so fun to film because we were filming this scene in Paris on this famous bridge, and there were people walking past, and it was crazy. It was a really lovely scene.
Oh.
People might think you gave me this hickey if you keep this up.
So, might help to deflect the rumours.
Oh my god.
Guys, come
Come on, we need to get to the Louvre.
Elle, they were having a moment.
You have until 5 p.m. And if any of you gets lost, we will be leaving you here to get locked in.
Meanwhile, this is what you actually see if you go there. Glorious pick by me 2 months after they filmed this. Yes, I went because of Heartstopper.
Wait, that's the Mona Lisa? That's it? It's rubbish!
What? Darcy, it's art! What? Darcy, it's art!
Well, it's
The time has come for you to lip sync for your life.
What? Darcy, it's art!
Well, it's well, it's
This painting is Caravaggio's Supper at Emmaus, and it depicts a resurrected Jesus revealing himself to 2 disciples. Now, you won't find this painting in the Louvre, because these sections of the Louvre with red and blue walls were actually filmed in Dulwich Picture Gallery in London. We'll come back to this painting in episode 7.
I don't think I really understand any of the art, but it's nice to look at.
You don't always need to understand it to enjoy it.
This one feels kind of romantic.
Yeah.
I guess that's true of real life as well.
What is?
This scene was filmed at the entrance hall of Burlington House, the Royal Academy.
You don't have to understand your feelings completely to know that you like something. You don't have to always have figured everything out, you can just feel.
Wait, where are we going?
No idea.
I can't run.
Quote from composer Adiescar Chase.
Tao and Elle have more of a theme in season 2. I'd say theirs is more fluttery, but pure joy. It's such a lovely thing. If you ever meet someone who's got a partner and they say, oh, they're my best friend, that's what a lot of great relationships are made of.
Spotify has made official playlists for all the couples. Production tried, quote, really hard to get The Louvre by Lorde on the soundtrack, but couldn't get the rights. Same with Harry Styles' songs. Alice also learned from season 1 that it's impossible to plan music tracks in advance because the music depends so much on how the scene is cut together in the edit.
I would love for Harry Styles to be in it or something like that. I mean,
Yeah,
I love Harry Styles.
That would be great.
Bit of Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Why not? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Harry Styles. Though. I would be really chuffed if we
I
could
think
get.
I agree. Harry
I
Styles
don't know
would
if
be
we
great.
could get a Harry
No.
Styles song in there, but if we could, then that would be great.
What?
I just love being here. I get to film in the Louvre. I mean, that is like a
Yes.
once in a lifetime opportunity.
Very cool.
You don't want to go back to the others?
No.
No, it's so fast.
Quote from DOP Simona Shushna.
It's surreal to shoot in the Louvre when it's absolutely closed, to be the only people there. It was really amazing. We got access to incredible galleries, so there was so much careful planning and thought behind how we shot those scenes and how we referenced the novel. It was like doing 2 shows in one, because the time it took to prep the Paris shoot was almost equal to the UK part.
Which means that if we go over the stairs, we can see the Greek statues.
I should probably tell you, when we're on the Eiffel Tower, he said that he still liked you. Like, he genuinely thinks that he still has a chance of getting back with you. He doesn't.
It seems like there may have been a tiny bit of insecurity and jealousy from Nick there, especially since he can't claim Charlie publicly as his.
Should we get going? Charlie?
This scene was filmed at the Burlington Gardens staircase at the Royal Academy of Arts.
I think they're just like her, isn't it? Do we not have the same physique, the same drama?
Quote from DOP Simona Shushna.
We filmed a large section of the Louvre, quite a lot of it, but there are 2 places in the Louvre that we shot in London, in the National Gallery and the Royal Academy of Arts, and then we filmed in the Dulwich Picture Gallery. We really worked hard to find those locations in the UK to make it feel seamless.
Do the pose and then I'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, go.
That is not even remotely the same pose.
Oh, your mum texted you? Wow, okay. How come I've never even met your parents?
Side note, pro tip. Don't talk this loud at an art gallery. My friend and I recently got told off for talking at this volume about the paintings at a museum, and that was embarrassing. And we're adults. Don't make our mistake. And Tara is basically yelling about some really personal stuff here.
I don't know. Come on. Why do you always do that? Why do you always avoid the issue?
I'd say they're going through some hardships, so they have to grow up. It's not... Yeah, I'd say they have to grow up in different ways.
They both go through a lot more stuff. Darcy, I think, is dealing with her home life. At the same time as trying to be a good girlfriend to Tara. And I think they have to stick together more than they have before.
Sometimes I feel like you're hiding stuff from me. I'm not.
Quote from executive producer Patrick Walters.
Tara and Darcy's arc was a really scary storyline to tackle, because we didn't want the audience to feel like they were suffering and that they were at odds, because they are perfect for each other, and we do want them to have a happily ever after. But I think the point of that storyline was to show that when your home life as a young queer person is compromised, that's a really serious thing, and it can totally alter how people act and what they show about themselves to their loved ones.
I've never met your parents. I've never been to your house, and you didn't even want to say I love you back.
Quote from article Alice Oseman couldn't wait to bring 2 Heartstopper comic panels to life by Ariana Romero for Tudum.
Tara and Darcy's romance also benefited from the extra space of the series. In the comics especially, Tara and Darcy are the perfect couple. They're together, they're solid, they don't really have any issues, Oseman said. That's not the case, however, in Season 2. Oseman wanted to give the characters some more depth and poke around their relationship, because things aren't always perfect.
It was just a casual I love you. You said you didn't mean it like that.
But you know I did. You know I do.
Charlie, what's wrong? I don't feel very...
Somebody get Mr. Farouk!
What kind of an asshole are you that your first instinct is to laugh at this, like... wild tonal shift?
I thought this trip would be awful, but I think it's my favorite holiday yet.
Quote from DOP Simona Shushna.
To get the atmosphere of the location, I suggested to Eros that we add this wide shot in the scene before we get the graphic novel shot match of Elle and Tao on the bench with the pyramid in the background. I really wanted a close match and tried several lenses. We ended up on my favorite, the 40mm, and we ran the whole scene in one shot, leading up to their silhouetted close-up where they kiss. I loved the intimacy of the scene and how small the crew was when we shot it. We didn't do any rehearsals and shot the scene handheld, which is also one of my favorite ways of shooting. I tried to bring a lot more shadow and darkness to Season 2, and silhouettes felt the most natural way of doing it without making the look of the show too moody.
Really?
Quote from William Gao.
We all actually got quite ill during that week of shooting. It was a challenge professionally for me because there were so many scenes with Tao and Elle in Paris. We were back to back every day. And then I got this flu, so it was doubly challenging. But I'm really glad that I got through it, and we managed to make the scenes look really nice and beautiful. I think Simona Shushna, the DOP, did such a great job with those Paris scenes, with the scene in the Louvre. That was my favorite scene to shoot, actually, in the Louvre, because it was a small crew. Only 6 of us were allowed, including the cast. It was literally like making an edgy short film or something. It was really fun to shoot that scene and really play with it.
It's so beautiful here. It makes me want to draw.
You should. I love watching you draw.
A lot of the scenes in Paris are really cute. The ones with Tao and Elle in the Louvre are really, really lovely.
I would say the most valuable scene that I filmed this season was filming in the Louvre because it was shut down completely. And I remember it was like you would be scared to breathe in the wrong direction because you would not want to like touch something, and then like it was just super, super crazy. I can't draw.
Quote from article Alice Oseman couldn't wait to bring 2 Heartstopper comic panels to life by Ariana Romero for Tudum.
They have their first kiss in front of this big arch window, Alice Oseman explained. That takes place in exactly the room that I drew in the comics. Oseman visited Paris while drawing Volume 3 and took a photo in that precise location with its iconic Parisian view. I thought, that's a really lovely place for their first kiss, they said with a smile.
Quote from DOP Simona Shushna.
We went through all of our Paris locations trying to find the exact precise angles that Alice drew. We'd be fully matching our frames in terms of angle and size of the frame, which was an amazing challenge. Sometimes what you draw doesn't really represent the physical world in the way we record it with the camera, so it was really fun to figure out how to work around it to get that frame.
Since they were limited on how many people they could take to the Louvre, DOP Simona Shushna had to light the scenes herself, and her grip also worked as the gaffer. Simona used a handheld camera and a Steadicam operator. Access to hair and makeup and costume teams was also limited. Simona also mapped out the movement of the sun across the venue so they could plan which scenes to shoot at certain times of the day. Quote from DOP Simona Shushna.
These were the ideas we had to work with, so I could actually go in there and shoot with hardly any lighting. The results are wonderful. For me, those logistical challenges are equally enjoyable as the creative challenges, and I feel like they go hand in hand.
The building is just so cinematic.
Quote from DOP Simona Shushna.
In the Louvre, there was a lot of beautiful, hard light coming in through these massive windows, so I was planning my locations and shots in relation to the sun. I embraced the imperfections that came from that way of working to reflect the story. I love that because I didn't want to create something that felt overly polished, because that would have felt like a lie or a lack of authenticity in relation to what the story and the characters are.
They should make more movies in the Louvre.
IMDb lists 116 films shot in the Louvre.
I can only think of the Da Vinci Code, and you would literally have to tie me to a chair if you wanted me to watch that actual monstrosity again.
Which comic scene in Volume 3 are you excited to see in Season 2?
Like Will and Yaz.
Yeah,
the Louvre. That's cute.
The Louvre scene, that was really fun. And it was something that, you know, I'm going to hold with me for the rest of my life. Oh my God.
Elle.
I'm so sorry. Let's just forget that happened.
You can force him to love you.
Yeah, I think it was just nice. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've never kissed on screen before in my life.
No, I hadn't either.
So this was a first for me, first for us.
Imogen kiss though. It's sort of like, you know, it's weird doing like a character kiss.
Yeah,
and
it
then
is
that
weird.
being on screen.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like you've got to do like by the book. There's also like an intimacy coordinator.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, David. Yeah, so obviously there's pretty much no tongue. I'm pretty sure there's no tongue, there's no, like, you're not really meant to, there's like a certain way you're meant to kiss. And I've never kissed on screen, so I just didn't want to do it wrong. But I think after a while, me and Will just got the hang of it, and we were just like smashing these scenes out like that.
Yeah.
So it was quite, I think you've also got to have that relationship with your like partner as
But
well.
it's weird also because we were all friends and like we all knew each other for so long.
Yeah.
Then having to like go and kiss like Will and Bash was like...
It was intense, yeah, it was intense. But I think we did it really well. And I'm proud of all of us for getting through it.
He can't expect you to be alright.
Quote from intimacy coordinator David Thackeray.
Alice showed me little drawings of that moment, which was unbelievably helpful as an intimacy coordinator. I went out to Paris, and it was a silly mistake putting that on Instagram, because suddenly everybody knew what scene was happening. Bad form on David. I worked with both of them and we marked it through the same agreement of consent and touch, marking through where they're happy to be touched, but more importantly, where they're not. We even thought about the moment of them running into that scene and sitting down in front of the window. We thought about the way we have this push and pull of someone leaving and then someone else running after them, and then the turn. It's about going over it more than once so that it's in their bodies and they can really play with it and find it. We even considered the quality of that kiss in that moment because there's 3 kisses in the Louvre. It was fantastic to be able to do that in that much detail.
I remember David posting that he was in Paris. That was pretty funny. We were all so excited because that could not mean anything but Tower Louvre kiss. It was definitely filmed October 4th, 2022 because he flew in for just a couple of days and Louvre closes for filming on Tuesdays. David also left this comment under Simona's Instagram post.
I don't know how to do this.
Me neither.
But if you fall in love with a girl, she'll make you feel like the world is on your shoulder.
Absolutely, like the first kiss with me and Tao in the Louvre is just magical. It's TV, like, magic. It's just so, I don't know, I mean, when I went to do ADR, like, I had, like, goosebumps watching that scene.
Nice.
And, yeah, I can't wait. I think it's going to be really magical, and everyone's waiting for this first kiss, so it's out now. I hope I didn't let you down. Yeah, no, I'm really proud of all of us.
I just kind of hope that if he kisses me, my foot pops.
Pops?
Yeah. You know, in old films, whenever a girl would get seriously kissed, her foot would just kind of pop.
The first time that you kiss, you smell lilacs on her lips and fall in love with a girl.
Elle's story is a beautiful story, and I think that trans stories always, need to be told. But I think that I think the way that Alice wrote Elle's story and the story between Tao and Elle is beautiful and nuanced.
That is uncanny.
I don't see it.
Stand in front of it, I'll show you. And do the pose as well.
I don't do poses.
Yes, you do. Go on. Another facial expression.
This is a portrait of King James I and VI, who was maybe possibly gay. This same gay king will feature in the upcoming TV series Mary and George, starring Red, White and Royal Blue's Nicholas Galitzine. Just figured some of you might be interested in that with the fandom crossover. I see lots of Nick fans in the Heartstopper fandom. There's a blog post on Dulwich Picture Gallery's website about Heartstopper. Pause if you want to read.
Mr. Farouk, Mr. Jai.
Charlie fainted.
Yep, I checked. They did edit that sign to be in French.
What just happened?
He's just, he passed out.
Gone to your boyfriend though, so all good.
No, this is not Darcy outing Nick to Sahar. She was there for this convo, so she knows already.
It wasn't just his fault, I was also involved.
You okay? Yeah, just really embarrassed.
Found them! Charlie, you alright?
So was he just carrying that weird plastic first aid kit that takes half of the space in his bag around everywhere?
You sure you feel okay, Charlie?
This scene was also filmed at the Burlington Garden Staircase, the wall entrance hall at the Royal Academy of Arts, just upstairs on the other side.
Yeah, I just haven't eaten enough today.
If you need to sit down or you just want to rest on the couch, that's fine.
There.
Mr. Ajayi giving Mr. Farouk heart eyes for caring for his favourite student.
Right, we'll let you chill out a bit.
Yeah, thanks.
Charlie, I've noticed you don't really eat a lot. Generally, I don't know. It kind of feels like it's gotten worse lately. Like I feel like you eat less than you used to.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Hey, no. You have nothing to be sorry about. I want to understand.
I know I don't eat like normal people.
Quote from Joe Locke.
I was very aware going into this season that I was going to be tackling a topic that was difficult to do right, and in a way that is tasteful, while also reflective of what the true lived experience is. My thinking is that if I walk away from a scene and feel I've done it in the most true way, that is all that I can do. I think I was ready and knowledgeable enough about the subject matter to do that, from personal experience of life relating to Charlie in lots of ways, and from speaking to people.
Some days I'm fine, but other days I feel like I need to control it.
Quote from director Euros Lyn.
What's really interesting is the sense for Charlie that he's trying to control his world, that he's trying to exercise some level of control over something, over a world he has no control over. For him, that seems to be how he is in his relationship with food, but we also get a sense that an eating disorder isn't some abstract condition that exists outside the rest of your life. It's part of his psyche and how he is, but it's also a consequence of the extreme bullying that he endured when he was first outed in school. You get a sense that his own self-worth and his self-esteem is connected to this experience that he went through. It's all a joined-up, complicated psychological representation of what we as people are like. Nobody comes out of a situation of stress and conflict and being bullied without it having some consequence on who we become.
I used to do it a lot last year, and everything at school was really bad. Sometimes it feels like the only thing I can control in my life. That makes zero sense. You can just forget this.
It does make sense.
So I've done a lot of research about this since reading Volume 4, and I was especially interested in finding out about experiences men have with eating disorders. From all that, I find this portrayal very accurate to the first-hand accounts I found. I saw someone accuse this of being too textbook when it comes to eating disorder rep, but I strongly feel that is on purpose so we can learn accurate information about what real people go through. Control is very commonly a key driver for eating disorders, and Charlie understanding this and being able to verbalize it is consistent with how he and Nick are very skilled at communicating with each other despite their young age.
Okay, maybe I don't totally get it, but I still want to know if you're feeling like that. If you're having a bad day, or if there's anything that I can do to make things less stressful, cheering you up. But I'm your boyfriend, Charlie. And
In the comic, we get this panel here. In the Season 2 predictions video I did, I talked about how this was one of the moments I was specifically looking forward to, and it was the only thing I was actually disappointed we didn't get in the season. I understand why they omitted it here. They clearly didn't want to distract from the important issue at hand. I get that. Still, here's my clumsy attempt at making some sort of visual of what this could have been as a Heartstopper moment, although the shot angle isn't quite right for this.
I'm your boyfriend, Charlie. And I really care about you.
I know it's not great, I don't have much animation experience and I wasted a lot of time on that because there was no way it was going to be good, but at least I tried, right? Little side note, I don't recommend staring at someone with an eating disorder as they eat. That can be stressful to some and make it harder. Just saying. Let's carry on.
It's a bit dry. You are not rejecting the croissant that I have lovingly carried for you all day. Wow. Yeah. This...
Quote from articles Study Up on 25 Heartstopper Season 2 Easter Eggs and Fun Facts by Tara Bitcher and Fodtudum.
When the gang went to Paris, costume designer Adam D. saw a chance to pay homage to Oseman's original artwork for Volume 3 of the graphic novels. Because some of the fans know the look so well, you're kind of under a bit of pressure to not completely copy it, but do little nods to it, said D. Connor and Locke ended up wearing their cover looks on their first day of filming in Paris. According to D, all the fans started to notice straight away. You can thank production buyer Zoe Seifert for sourcing Charlie's Fjallraven bag.
This is so...
Quote from writer Alice Oseman about the statue room.
We were able to film in there, amazingly, and it's such a beautiful room. Nick and Charlie just look so tiny in this giant room with all these giant statues. It's really, really beautiful.
Oh, it's my dad. Sorry, I better...
Your dad?
Allô, papa? Ouais, ça va? Je suis au Louvre. On se voit cette semaine? Ah, sérieux? Non, non, ça va? J'ai pu le faire? Ok. À bientôt. Okay, sorry about that. He said, what?
You speak French. Like, fluently.
In the French dub version, Charlie is really weirdly into Nick having a French dad.
Ton père habite en France, à Paris.
Mon père est français, il est rentré dans son pays après le divorce. J'ai l'impression que ça te fait de l'effet que mon père soit français.
Tu plaisantes?
Je suis ton père ego.
For more about the French dub jumping through some creative hoops to dodge the whole plot of Nick speaking French and all the other international dubbers struggling with the French parts, check out this silly 5-minute video I made instead of making it a deep dive segment.
My dad's French and he basically only speaks to me in French, so... Anyway, he lives in Paris, so I've been trying to... Wait, do you like the fact that I speak French?
It's fine. It's cool.
Charlie! Mon amour.
Is this not Nick sneakily telling Charlie he loves him right after he was obviously consciously stopping himself from saying it before?
Oh my god, you're so cringe!
You actually don't look like you're cringing, you look like you're blushing.
I am not! Leave me alone, you dick!
No! No! One thing from watching it, how did they make all those fake people in the Louvre? When we went to the Louvre, there was no one there because it was closed. And then watching it, there's all these fake people. Were they like fake people or did they like clean plate them? The people in the Louvre aren't real. Spoiler.
They're not real.
Except
Why did you
Eros.
say that? What? Oh yeah, actually that's something that's really important. There's the security guard in the Louvre, and that's our director, Euros
They
Lyn.
couldn't fit any more people in the Louvre, so...
Yeah.
No! No!
I really like the scene in Paris where they're in, I think it's the Louvre, and it's Nick and Charlie mucking about, and then the museum worker shouts at them, and I just liked that it was Eros, because I had no idea he was going to be in it, and I was like, ah!
Pas de ça ici.
Run!
Come on!
Quote from DOP Simona Shushna.
The kids are discovering the world and they're embracing the good and bad. They're growing and becoming adults. For me, it was a question of scale, seeing them small and vulnerable in these massive interiors and structures. The Louvre environment feels brutalist at times. I wanted to have that cohesion of vulnerability and what it is to be in the big wide world.
My dad wants to meet up, like, today.
You ever mentioned your dad before?
He's not really a big part of my life anymore, since he lives here, and he's not the most reliable. He's still my dad, so I had this idea that I might introduce you to him.
Quote from Kit Connor.
Nick's got his dad who lives in Paris, and that's a really big aspect of the Paris trip in the sense of not only has he got a slightly fractured relationship with his father, but he's also suddenly had this real shift in his life. He's got a boyfriend, someone who he really deeply cares about and wants to share with the people that he loves. So it's kind of navigating that as well and seeing how he can work on his relationship with his father and introduce him to Charlie.
Yeah?
It's just hard to get in touch with him when he never answers my texts.
How about we promise to tell each other when we've got stuff going on?
Quote from Joe Locke.
They're very much getting more comfortable with each other, being in each other's space. I'm excited for people to see that teenage relationships can be mature and open and communicative. There's often this idea that teenage relationships aren't those things.
Season 2 for me feels like the aim was to capture kind of the joy and the magic of season 1 while also feeling that the characters have like grown up and matured a little bit, and so we're exploring maybe some things that are a little bit darker than season 1, and the romances are getting a little bit more mature than they were in season 1, so it's like an elevation, I like to think, of season 1.
I think the characters are growing up and we're growing up with them.
Deal.
When are you actually meeting up with him? And how?
I said I'd meet him in a cafe in 20 minutes.
Charlie, I know you had a sandwich and a croissant, but maybe don't run this much right after fainting.
Recognize myself now.
First time we shot in Paris was a crazy week.
Yeah.
First thing was literally we got there and they'd cordoned off this section in like a very public place in Paris, and we were meant to run into this metro and there were loads of people staring at us. And on Heartstopper we weren't really used to shooting anywhere where there were like people watching. Really shot a lot of season 1 in you know, in the school and things like that. So it was very strange for us to do that. That was an intense first day for us, for sure.
Which became an intense week.
Yes, it was 1 week filming about 3 episodes.
Yeah, which is
in
not
Paris.
normal.
Which is not normal, but we did it.
Filming in Paris has been absolutely insane so far. We're only here for a week, so it's been super fast paced. But you know, it's one of the most beautiful cities in the entire world, so there are worse places to shoot.
The station is actually called École Militaire, military school.
Cadets, on board.
S'envoler means fly away, and the cartoon lovebirds are back.
Heartstopper spoilers, just FYI. You'll never be the same. This is my favourite bit as well. I love how they cut the credits too. Look how cool this is!
And that is indeed the end of episode 5. We pick up right where we left off in the next one. One more Paris episode left.